Hi everybody, Mr. Chris here. World Awareness Day is coming up on Friday, and there's one detail that I thought it would be a lot easier if I would just make a video of the detail instead of trying to describe it to you. So the purpose of this video is to make sure that you as parents understand one of the activities that we're going to be doing on Friday, and also to allow you a chance to opt out of this activity if you think it might be too intense. This is especially designed, for younger students like might be in kindergarten, first or second grade. So our theme for this year is the Syrian refugee crisis that has been going on for many, many years now. And we are going to be doing we're going to be doing different things throughout the day. We'll have a special chapel, and we're going to eat a meal that would typically be eaten like in a refugee camp in Greece. But one of the activities we're going to be doing is a game called Passages. It was designed by the United Nations for schools, and it is designed to help students go through some of the same challenges that refugees have to go through. And so one of the modules goes like this. About the beginning of the game, the students are going to be divided up into different families, and these families are going to be chapel groups that we have used all year long. The chapel groups consist of 5 or 6 students, and they're headed up by a chapel group leader, which is a high school student. And so your students have been organized like this now for ever since school started, and so they are fairly familiar with each other, spend some time talking to each other, sometimes in chapels and so on, and they always sit together in chapel. Toward the beginning of this simulation, there's going to be a part where we have a chaotic event that causes the families to have to flee their village or home. And so, in real life, this is often war or a natural disaster or something like that. And so, in this case, the way we're going to simulate that is we're going to take all the students into the gym, and we're going to mix them up. We're going to make them go all over the place there in the gym, and they won't be with their chapel group. Then we're going to blindfold all of the students, and that's supposed to simulate something like maybe smoke or maybe volcano ash or something that is causing them not to be able to see. And then they're going to need to find the rest of their family. And so it's going to be 5 or 6 students spread all over the gym, blindfolded, will need to find each other. And so I've done this simulation once before, and so what ends up happening is that students call each other's names out, and they'll say Jessica, because she's a chapel group leader, and then they'll start calling each other's names, trying to find one another. But this is going to be about 55 or 60 students who are all doing this, and so it gets really chaotic. And in my experience, this was a pretty intense simulation to go through, and some students even started crying because it was really intense. And so that is probably the most intense module in this simulation. The rest of it is not nearly as intense. It's more maybe frustrating because we do other things like helping the students sort of simulate, or we simulate students trying to cross a border where they don't speak the language properly, and the border guards are being being nasty to them or being difficult to work with, stuff like that. And so the rest of the game is more like that. It's not quite as intense. And so anyway, the point of this video is to make sure you understand what's coming up, and also to give you a chance to opt out of it if you think it's going to be too intense for your students. And so if you do think it's going to be too intense, please call, text, or email your let's just say call or text your teacher or me at school, and you can find all those numbers in the back of the calendar or on the website. Make sure that if you would like to opt out, that we know about that. Also, we will make sure that students know on the day of that if they want to opt out at any point in time, they can do that, and there'll be a teacher that will be there for any students who want to opt out. So, and then they can just watch the whole simulation from afar, and one of the teachers will sort of explain what's going on and why we're doing what we're doing. So, like I said, if you have any questions or concerns or would like to opt out, feel free to call or text any of the teachers or myself. Thanks so much. Bye.